Imagine stepping into a world where every shadow hides a threat, and every corner could be your last breath. Welcome to Left 4 Dead 2 like you've never seen it before, transformed into a spine-chilling haunted house at none other than Universal Studios' Halloween Horror Nights. Halloween Horror Nights, or HHN for short, is finally here, and with it, I'm excited to share my concept videos that turn beloved horror games into terrifying haunted houses. In my last video, I explored 5 games that would make for phenomenal HHN experiences. Today, we're diving deeper into what one of those experiences could look like, from settings and props to the spine-tingling details that'll bring them to life. But before we dive into everything, a quick disclaimer is definitely needed. Warning, this video was made by me, a dedicated fan who's visited Universal Studios more times than the F-bomb was dropped in Deadpool and Wolverine. I haven't officially worked for Universal, but if they're looking for someone to bring these killer ideas to life, just as Blondie once said, call me! What you're about to see is a rough draft of what could be if these ideas became a reality. Some of the ideas mentioned in this video will be generalized rather than specific in hopes that a conversation may be brought about in the comments. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Enjoy! Left 4 Dead 2 is a cooperative first-person shooter where players battle relentless hordes of zombies in a desperate fight for survival. Developed by Valve, it's a sequel that builds on its predecessor with new characters, campaigns, and gameplay features. Even after nearly 15 years, that's 15 years, it remains a beloved classic in both the shooter and zombie genre. The question remains though, why focus on Left 4 Dead 2 rather than the original? Well, it's simple. It just offers more.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I mean, am I wrong? Left 4 Dead 2 introduced a lot of new things, from newly special infected like the jockey, charger, and spitter, to the introduction of melee weapons like the chainsaw, katana, and much, much more. And their campaigns to me are just more memorable than the ones from its predecessor.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Listen, I'm not saying that the campaigns from Left 4 Dead are butt cheeks. They were awesome, phenomenal even. But to me, they just don't compare to the ones in Left 4 Dead 2. But aside from that, let's start creating this house. Venue selection. The placement of a haunted house can really set the stage for its impact. And if you're like me, you can sometimes gauge whether or not a house will be a banger based on its placement on the park map. For example, I've had some hits and some misses from the experiences located in the sound stages at the front of the park. However, for as long as I can remember, the houses in the back of the park near the ET ride and now the newly constructed DreamWorks land have consistently been bangers, like the Universal Monster Saga, The Last of Us, The Weekends After Hours Nightmare, and so on and so forth. So for this creation, you know we're putting this sucker right back there. Queue experience. Waiting in line can be daunting, especially when all you can hear is the combination of hundreds of different conversations. However, with the right music, the queue itself can be transformed into part of the experience. I once again bring up The Weekends After Hours Nightmare as a prime example for this. Waiting in that queue and listening to his songs had not only me, but everyone else hyped for the experience. So, for our Left 4 Dead 2 house, you know we have to go with the scores from the game. Each campaign had its own memorable tracks. Just imagine the classic banjo theme setting the mood. And to make things even better, the intro video from the game can be projected onto the building to really amp up the anticipation. Artwork and design. Artwork is crucial for drawing in the guests even before they enter. I personally always enjoy analyzing the small details of whatever artwork was created for whichever experience I'm about to enter. As far as this experience in particular, the artwork could be a lot of different things, honestly. We could use iconic imagery seen from the Left 4 Dead series, like the hand from both game covers, or a design that merges the Universal Park with Left 4 Dead 2. This visual introduction will set the tone for what's inside. Setting an atmosphere. Excluding DLCs, Left 4 Dead 2 presents us with a total of 5 captivating campaigns, those being Dead Center, Dark Carnival, Swamp Fever, Hard Rain, and The Parish. Now trust me, I know it would be stunning to be able to follow through with all 5 campaigns in this experience, but unfortunately, it just won't be plausible. With that being said, our 2 main campaigns that we will focus on for this concept will be Swamp Fever and Hard Rain. Sorry, Dark Carnival. Now, when it comes to Swamp Fever and Hard Rain, these 2 settings blend seamlessly and offer a mix of eerie atmospheres and intense moments. I mean, just imagine this, right? For Swamp Fever, picture a dark, abandoned plantation in a treacherous swamp. The dense, murky water hides lurking threats, with zombies potentially emerging at literally any moment. And for Hard Rain, I mean, imagine a abandoned, storm-battered town transformed from a place of joy into a scene of horror. The ever-threatening hurricane, combined with the menacing sugar mill and cane field, grants you a recipe of sheer terror. With our general settings captured, we will now dive in and select prime locations from these 2 campaigns for which the guests will venture through. Safe rooms. Essential to the game, these rooms offer a mix of relief and tension. I can't tell you how many times I personally saw the graffiti pointing the way to safety, or even saw the iconic red door itself and was filled with hope. But alongside that hope came overwhelming fear and doubt. The piercing thought of, will I make it, rang through my head each and every time I saw anything associated with safety. That reason alone is why this location is a must for this experience. The messages also seen on the walls of the safe rooms really build onto the world that is Left 4 Dead. Seeing all the hopelessness and despair in said messages can really do something to one's psyche. The Sugar Mill and Cane Field. These 2 locations are the centerpieces of Hard Rain. As many fans know, these 2 areas are filled to the brim with zombies, but most importantly, the witches. Not a single corner is turned without hearing or even seeing the infamous witch herself. With the elements of the hurricane mixed in with such a dangerous special infected looming about, it's safe to say that you're in for a treat when venturing through this part of the house.
Oh, shit.
The playground and garage sale. Seeing a place that's well known for children's laughter and lifelong memories filled with the corpses of zombies can really bring that level of horror that Left 4 Dead is known for. That, along with the deserted garage sale, really lets the viewers know that this portion of the experience may very well be the calm before the storm. The Gator Farm. This zombie-filled bayou in Louisiana is one of the centerpieces of Swamp Fever. While venturing through this portion of the house, the viewers will see that although the occupants of this area were overrun by the undead, they tried their best to take precautions as well as trying to fight back, in which they achieved slight success before their doom. The crashed plane. Once surpassing the Gator Farm, the viewers will find themselves knee-deep in the bayou itself, in which they will encounter hordes of zombies of all kinds, from the regular infected to the mudmen to the special infected. This area is one where you'll want to keep close to your party. And for the split second that you're out of the bayou, you'll find yourself in a crashed plane for which you have to trigger a horde of zombies for you to continue on your way to safety. And last but not least, we have our finale locations. The Plantation and Burger Tank restaurant represent the climactic finales of each campaign. These iconic locations will be designed to feel both ominous and exhilarating, signaling that the end is near, if only you can survive the final onslaught. With Universal's well-known history of creating awe-inspiring facades, these 2 finale locations would look breathtaking if brought to reality. With our prime location set, it's time to go over who we will see in this experience.
Who?
Our main characters are a given, those being Ellis, Rochelle, Coach, and Nick. These characters will provide the comedy, the badassery, but most importantly, the hope for the guests to cling on to while they go through this house. Now for the zombies, well, you can expect to see all the special infected that the game has to offer, from the witches to the hunters to even the tanks. But what will really drive the importance of the special infected scene in this house will be how they are positioned. They need to be strategically placed just like they are in the game to really maximize the scares. So that means that the smokers will be traversing along openings up top, waiting to pick off a straggler. The hunters rigged on a bungee system so that when that perfect opportunity presents itself, they can pounce at the guests and really make their heart skip a beat. The jockeys to either be placed above or below the guest's eye line, reaching out from unexpected angles to really keep everyone on their toes. When going through this experience, you need to know that whenever you are not in a safe room, you are not safe. So we have the venue selected, the queue experience created, the artwork discussed, and the contents of the house mapped out. Well, all that's left is the good old Easter eggs, so that we can show some love to the other campaigns or moments that are seen in the Left 4 Dead series. So here are just a few out of the many hidden nods that'll be included in this experience. Jimmy Gibbs Jr. While traversing through Swamp Fever, the guests will see a blue race car emerging from the swamp itself. That race car belonging to Jimmy Gibbs Jr., but also being the one that our main characters used to escape in the finale of the first campaign, none other than Dead Center. Shotgun Wedding. With the guests venturing through the hard rain portion of this experience, out of the many witches that they will come across, one special witch will be seen in a wedding dress. This is a nice nod to the passing campaign in which our survivors encountered this exact same witch at an altar. Midnight Riders. As guests pass through one of the many safe rooms of this experience, they will notice a Midnight Riders poster on the wall. This is a nice little nod to the Dark Carnival campaign, which in the finale of that campaign, our main characters were fending off hordes of zombies during a concert performance. Special shoutouts. In other safe rooms of this experience, there could be a plethora of Easter eggs that can be found in the messages on the walls, whether it be a message from characters from the last Left 4 Dead game, or even a mention to the HHN creative directors themselves. The ideas could be limitless. And lastly, expect for the infamous car alarm to be seen in this experience. As a Left 4 Dead fan knows, these can be seen throughout the entirety of the series. And there's always that one person who will set it off just to be funny. So maybe we can make this Easter egg guest activated by a button or something of the such. And there you have it, a Left 4 Dead 2 haunted house at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. What do you guys think? Are there any ideas that you'd add or change? Are there any specific horror games that you would love to see turned into a haunted house at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's discuss. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, stay spooky.